Hi guys, Toronto Brad here, and today's vlog is on budgeting my next trip to the Philippines. So when it comes to budgeting, the first expense that I'm going to look at is the cost of my flight. So on my last trip to the Philippines earlier this year, I spent approximately $3,500 on my flight, which was a direct flight between Toronto and Manila. Now, obviously, if I have a chance, I would like to spend a lot less on the flight than I did, because recently my friend told me he was able to get a flight from Canada, again, with one stopover in Hong Kong to Manila for only $600, so an 85% savings. So I'd be looking to save substantially on the cost of my flight. The next cost that I'm going to look at is my day-to-day spending cash. So when I'm overseas, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, whatnot, I usually pull out between $100 and $200 a day from the bank machine. I don't usually keep a lot of cash on me. I just spend for the day. I pull out with the cash that I need. Now, depending on what my activities are, I may or may not need to pull out that amount of money. So when I was recently in Philippines, I was pulling out $100 or $200 or 5,000 pesos to 10,000 pesos per day. And I really wasn't getting a lot for that money. I wasn't getting a lot of bang for the buck. So I think on my next trip, regardless of where I go, I'm looking at getting a better bang for my buck on my daily spending cash. The next point of spending or budgeting when you do a trip overseas is your accommodation. So again, I way overspent. And it's not that I'm a novice, because I've traveled a lot over the past few years, but I just seem to sometimes get carried away. So I spent for 2 or 3 weeks in Boracay. I spent about 60,000 pesos, 65,000 pesos for accommodation. Now, obviously, I could have done a lot better than that, because I know if I looked up an Airbnb or rental property, I could have probably got something between 10 and 20,000 pesos for an entire month. So obviously, that's another point where I'm going to probably be able to save some money, and I'm really going to be able to nail down a really tight budget for my next trip. One option that I had as a passing thought through my mind was to stay at Nita's house, but because of the way I am, I just could not foresee myself staying at somebody's house. It's just not the way I roll. It's not the way I travel. I would like to get a nice hotel or a nice condo. And, that'd be a better idea than staying at somebody's house. So whether I'm staying at the Scorebirds Hotel in Angeles, because, I'm planning to go to Pampanga, or whether I stay at the Central Park, I just don't see myself staying at somebody's house. But it's just my feeling right now. But hey, things might change when it comes to that time to make my trip. And again, guys, thank you again for watching my vlog. It's Toronto Brad. Don't forget to share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'm going to be bringing you guys some more content in the future.